All right, Kipster. So today's skill is going to be working with plotting improper fractions and mixed numbers. For this first video, we're just going to work with improper fractions because there's a way to turn these into a mixed number. You'll have a better understanding what a mixed number is here in the next video. But for this one, we're going to be working with how to convert an improper fraction to a mixed number. Now, what makes this an improper fraction or not proper, that's what M means, is that this fraction is slightly different than fractions we're more familiar with, fractions like this. And the difference comes with our numerator and our denominator. In our improper fraction, you can see that our numerator is actually greater than our denominator. When it comes to a proper fraction or a regular fraction, our numerator is actually smaller than our denominator. So the only difference is that the numerator is going to be bigger than our denominator. That's what makes it improper. Now, to be fair, when we're plotting improper fractions, I don't like seeing these. I don't like seeing them like this. Kind of hard to figure out. It's hard to tell whether and what hole they fall in between, which is important so that we know where to plot them. So I want to go ahead and turn this into a mixed number. Okay, a mixed number is a number that has a whole and a fraction. It looks something like this. It's an example of mixed number. As you can see, the reason it's mixed is a combination of a whole number with a fraction. That's why it's called mixed. A mix of two things, whole and fraction. So for me to convert this, I'm going to show you two different ways to do it. For me to convert this improper fraction into a mixed number, the first way is drawing a visual diagram. What I can do is I can take this numerator, so I know I have 4 parts, and draw the 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that I have my 4 parts drawn, I'm going to look at my denominator. Don't forget, our denominator tells me how many parts are needed for one whole. So for me to have one whole, I need 3 parts. So I'm going to go ahead and circle 3 parts from the 4 that I have. So 1, 2, 3. Here's my 3 parts. I only have 1 left. I can't make another whole here, which is why I didn't circle another group. I only circled the 3 to make 1 whole because that's what my denominator says. Now I can go ahead and write my mixed number. Remember, my mixed number has a whole and it has a fraction. I'm going to start with my whole first. Or how many whole groups do I have? I have 1 whole group. There's my whole. The next part is my fraction. So I want to write how many parts I have left. I have 1 part left. That's my new numerator. And my denominator is not going to change because I still need 3 parts to make a whole. So my mixed number is 1 1/3, which is what I changed from my improper fraction to be so that I can plot this on a number line. The other way you can do this is by dividing. I'm going to take my numerator. I'm going to put it inside the house. Take my denominator, put it outside the house. Same thing, same idea. I want to make a group of 3 out of the 4 parts that I have. And I ask myself, how many groups of 3 can I make with 4? Well, I already did some of the work here. I can make 1 group of 3 with 4 parts. Because that group of 3s are already in a group, I want to make sure I subtract them from the parts that I have because I put them in a group already. So 4 minus 3, I get 1. With my remainder, I can't make another group. So now I have everything I need to turn this into a mixed number. Remember, my whole number is going to be the number that tells me how many groups I have. I made 1 group of 3. I made 1 group of 3. Okay, it's coming from my answer on top. My remainder tells me how many parts I have left, just like I did here. This is my remainder. I have 1 part left. That's going to be my new numerator. I have 1 part left. And then my denominator stays the same. I still need 3 parts to make a group. There it is, 1 1/3. Okay, you got the same answers, means I did it correct. Let me show you one more example, and I'm just going to go ahead and go right through it to show you how you should have done this all in one steps. All right, I'm going to go ahead and convert 5 halves. I'm going to do it both ways. So I'm going to draw 5 parts. I'm going to turn it into a mixed number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to make groups of 2. That's what my denominator says. So I'm going to circle groups of 2. 1 group, 2 groups. All right, my mixed number should be, I have 2 whole groups. I have 1 left out of the 2 that I needed to make a denominator. That's one way to do it. You can also divide it. 5 divided by 2. How many groups of 2 can I make out of 5? I can make 2 groups of 2. That means that there's 4 parts that I have to get rid of. Subtract, I have 1 left. That 2 becomes my whole number. My remainder becomes my numerator. Denominator is the same. And that is how it's done. All right, watch the next video of how to figure out how to plot mixed numbers on our number line.